Good evening. My name is Ryan Cade, and welcome to the very first edition of WrestleCenter. Every Sunday, we'll go over the best, worst, and everything in between in the world of professional wrestling. However, for the very first edition, I figured we'd go over Raw 30th Anniversary Special. Since we missed the first 30 years, I figured we get a head start and cover the next 30 years. So, without further ado, let's bring up the board and get to the news. Raw 30 started on with a when once disgraced Hulk Hogan and eternal optimist Jimmy Hart started the show. Luckily for us, the microphone wanted to hear Hulk Hogan's shtick just as much as we did. Our on-site reporter, Sean Hicklebottom, was taking instant reactions outside of the arena. Sean, what did one fan have to say?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I couldn't agree more. Next up, we have the trial of Sami Zayn, aka the very best thing going in wrestling today. The segment started with Paul E. Heyman laying out what could be considered devastating evidence against the defendant.
Boom!
Then, Sami made the second worst decision you can make in the judicial system, and he tried to defend himself. This went about as well as you expected.
Innocent.
Sami, being unable to defend himself, angered the tribal chief. And right before he was about to get Umaga'd, something amazing happened. Jay was able to provide enough evidence to prove Sami's loyalty, at least until this Saturday at the Royal Rumble.
I'm in danger!
The show continued the good times with the Tag Team Championship match. The Usos versus Judgment Day's own Damian Priest and resident convict Dominic Mysterio.
First thing about prison was the Dementors. They were flying all over the place and they were scary, and then they'd come down and they'd suck the soul out of your body and it hurt.
However, the match turned to controversy when Jimmy Uso went down with the injury. Thankfully for us, Adam Pearce came out to make up rules of his own.
The show where everything's made up and the points don't matter.
According to Adam Pearce, if Jimmy Uso could not compete, the Usos would have to lose the match and forfeit their titles. Lucky for them, we had a Sami waiting in the wings.
I'm ready to go in, Coach. Just give me a chance. I know there's a lot riding on it, but it's all psychological.
Sami and Jay were able to retain the titles, and now we must wait till Royal Rumble to see how this story will continue to unfold. Now, before we get to our second hour of Raw, let's check the 7-day forecast with our resident meteorologist, Juan Cena. Juan? Thanks, Juan. Be sure to bring a coat. The second hour of Raw began with Los Angeles Knight calling out any legend back to face him. Unlucky for him, this guy came out. What? No? I apologize. This guy came out. American Badass, Undertaker, came out to face off with Los Angeles Knight. However, Los Angeles Knight thought it might be better not to face someone who had Kid Rock as his theme music.
We'll go back down to McDonald's and get you a Whamburger, some French fries.
However, just as Los Angeles Knight was trying to leave, out from behind came Bray Wyatt to deliver a Sister Abigail. The segment ended with a proverbial spooky passing of the torch that was simply beautiful.
You like art?
Next up on Raw XXX, we have the most anticipated match of the night, Becky Lynch versus Bayley in a steel cage. This match was extremely nostalgic in the sense that it wouldn't be a Monday Night Raw celebration without extreme disappointment.
They ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
The match ended in no contest as Damage Control attacked Becky long before the match started. Word going around in the back is that they ran out of time due to the length of prior segments. Lucky for us, we were able to keep the Charlotte Flair Bianca segment. I just hope that was the right decision.
It's false. No way. Not this time. We created it. Not this time. No.
Now, before we get back to Raw, let's take a quick look at the highlight of the day from your local high school. Those kids are really going somewhere. Next up is whatever that Ric Flair, Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Sonya Deville segment was. Let's check back with number 1 to see if he's changed his opinion, if that was a good idea or not.
Not this time. Wrong.
The show concluded with a main event that featured Bobby Lashley taking on Austin Theory in a no DQ United States Championship match. This was a wonderful match that included tables, chairs, fire extinguishers, and a commercial break that took up most of the match. The match concluded as Bobby Lashley was about to win when this sound was heard. That's right, the return of the manimal, Brock Lesnar. The match concluded with Lesnar delivering a couple F5s and helping Austin Theory retain. With that, that's the end of our first edition of WrestleCenter. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you this Sunday for our regularly scheduled programming. But don't forget, on this channel, the wrestling's real, and we're all the fakes. Thank you, and good night.